It's the middle of June. Cold fronts grip the Western Cape, one after the other. The heavens open, battering the region. In the Olifants River Valley, at the foot of the majestic Citrusdal, 5 days of rain pelt the town of Citrusdal. Farmers brace themselves after word reaches them from up in the valley.
Op die olifants op plekke wat ek hom nog nie in my leeftyd gesien loop het nie. So ja, daar by die dorp gaan 'n foutjie kom.
All too soon, the ever-steady Olifants River becomes a raging torrent. A relentless, unstoppable, driving force wiping out everything in its path. The main access road washes away. Nearby, Clan William Dam soon reaches capacity. The sluice gates are opened, claiming construction officers, ripping away their makeshift foundations.
En hy groei nog altyd, hy versterk nog altyd.
The flood continues undeterred. Water levels keep rising. The town is cut off. The SANDF flies in Eskom technicians to restore power. Rainfall in June is a given, but this is something else.
Ek is die 4de generasie op die familieplaas en ek is op hierdie stadium onder my ma en my ma is die plaaseienaar.
Orange farmer Abrie van Zyl was one of those bracing for trouble down in the valley. As the river rises, his anxiety increases.
Daar het boodskappe deurgekom dat dit is die hoogste wat hulle die rivier nog ooit gesien het. Mense wat al 50 tot 60 jaar oud is en wat ook maar hulle hele lewe lank in Citrusdal groot geraak het en gebly het. So dat dit dadelik vir ons gesê dat hier kom moeilikheid. As daai tipe manne vir jou sê dis die hoogste wat hulle dit al in hulle lewe gesien het, kan jy maar weet dit is baie water en dit was 'n magte om water.
They were right. His entire life savings has been invested in 28 hectares of newly planted orchards, an estimated 10 million rand, obliterated by the river's mighty current. In the face of the overflowing river, Abrie is helpless.
So op daai stadium het ek in die boord gestaan en fisies gesien hoe die water bo die wal kom. Dit was seker vir my die swaarste oomblik en te weet jy het gedoen wat jy kon doen, maar moeder natuur het besluit. Dit gooi 'n jong man se drome wat hy wil bereik. Ek dink dit sit hom iets 'n hele goeie paar jaar terug.
What no one here forgets is that only 5 years ago, farmers were fighting over scarce water allocations from this river, amid the most severe drought in living memory in the Western Cape. Further down the valley, the flood reaches the informal settlement Riverview. 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀 is a seasonal farm worker. He was forced to flee to safety when the rains came.
So now this is where we live permanently for now. So I woke up, the water is coming inside the house and outside the house, and the house is moving along with the river, you see. Then I started packing my stuff.
With no shelter, he seeks refuge in the community hall with several hundred others. Places like Riverview have been flattened by the flood, and the Cederberg municipality is taking steps to have Citrusdal and nearby flood-hit areas declared a disaster. This would release much-needed relief funds from government. A no-work, no-pay policy means seasonal farm workers like Anele are desperate to get back to the orchards.
It's been 3 weeks without something coming in as income, so it's been bad, it's really bad, you see. And then now, the employers, people who give us work, they also have lost staff because the trees, everything is destroyed, you see.
It's Wednesday, the 21st of June, 1 week after the rain started. The low-lying bridge is finally able to be used again as the water recedes. This low-lying bridge, which is privately owned, is being used as an interim measure. It had to be reinforced for trucks laden with produce. Trucks have to get in and out. It's harvest time, and they're behind.
Okay, ek stage hom dan solank ook hierdie kant, né?
Local resident 𝗃𝗃 steps in to coordinate the safe crossing of trucks in and out of the area over the low-lying bridge.
Are we going to be able to drive over this? Is this safe?
This should be fine. It's only when the water goes over the cement blocks, then we cannot cross, then we close the bridge.
Oi.
There we go. Easy as that. We've gone through this a couple of times where, you know, there's a flood coming and everyone's kind of prepared for it. It was only when it started happening that people realized, you know what, this is a lot worse than we've ever had before. So then typically people start panic buying. Now keep in mind we have seasonal workers. These people don't have massive cash reserves. They buy food for this week coming. They don't have a lot of food stores. So they're really in a bind. And what we also had on top of that, gas started running out.
Floods last cut off the town in 1984. But locals say this time around is way worse, and engineers are working around the clock to rebuild this main access road. The disaster has triggered local memories of previous floods. An old family film from the 1960s has survived to tell the story. 𝗃𝗃 is a truck driver who's lived in Citrusdal almost his entire life. When he was a young man, the access road washed away as well.
Dis veral 1984 toe het ons nou ook die pad verspoel, maar vir jaar se vloed was baie erger geweest. Hy is die ergste wat ek hom nog ooit beleef het vandat ek hier in hierdie vallei bly. In hy tyd toe sien ek maar hulle is besig daar so die boere en hulle help. Toe het ek maar gehelp want hulle het 'n roeibootjie gekry wat hulle met toue vasgemaak het en dat ons het so getrek.
In these floods, updated methods, but the same terror. Now, as extreme weather events become more frequent, more intense, the climate change crisis hits the most vulnerable first. And while there have always been periodic floods here, could the severity of this one point to yet more evidence of a looming climate change crisis?
Lang!
The total cost is yet to be determined, but authorities fear it's staggering and could cost the Western Cape R1 billion. Appeals are growing for the authorities to act urgently to mitigate people's ever-growing risks to the ravages of climate change. Until then, communities like Citrusdal must rally to help each other.
We as a community need to pull together. Government resources can help you so far, but in the end it's the community that's got to help itself.
For Abrie, giving up is not an option.
Ons is sterk, ons glo en vertrou dat ons dit sal oorkom. So ons moet aangaan, vorentoe kyk en die beste van 'n sleg saak maak.